All right, so I was just adjusting a few sound settings. Patty, how's it going? Vicky, how's it going? I need to make sure that you guys understand that it's 9:30 Central for me whenever I'm doing these 9:30 things. I want to make sure you can hear the sound okay. Let me know. I did adjust a few things to try to make it a little bit louder. All right, I have some cool things to show you guys today. First, I want to see how everybody's practice is going. All right, I'm going to pull up, hopefully Patty's still here. I'm going to pull up something that I've been working on this morning that I think you guys will like. Give me 1 second. Okay, so let me get back to where we were and then I'll explain what I've been doing. Okay, cool. So I had this idea of, based on a lot of feedback from you guys, is I'm getting emails about different things that you guys are working on. So I started thinking about the jazz course that I did. There's the easy jazz course where it's like in 25 minutes, you're playing jazz and everything. So I thought, well, I have Blues Volume 1, but I haven't really taught a class or a beginner's guide to the blues. And the blues is one of the things I think that people, even beginners, can get to playing pretty quickly if they just get a few simple concepts. And then so I started just doing these. I'll pull up the sheet music again, and I started writing out the basics, like before we even get into the licks of this. Put up the window. That's the wrong window. Oh, that's the right window. Never mind. It's just the wrong thing to show you. So where is it? Right here. Hopefully you guys can see this. But what I did is I started with the first 5 notes of the blues scale. Now, if you guys are more experienced, you know that what I want you to do is be able to transpose all of this into all keys. So as I was writing these things out this morning, I was thinking about the absolute beginner and then the other people who want to be able to play in all keys. So everything that is going to be in this course that I'm doing, just because there's a need out there of people not being overwhelmed. They don't want to be overwhelmed. They have limited practice time. They want to play the blues. And then you have other people who are pretty decent at the blues, but they don't practice in all keys. So I think this is going to meet, both kinds of students here. So let me just show you what I did, and let's go through some of these, and then I'll check the chat every once in a while. But anyway, so the very first concept is, I said, well, you know, you need to be working your fingers, and so the first video I'm going to make is going to be this 5-finger pattern. You guys know we do this every time, but I want your hands in the shape of whatever key you're working in. I want you to be able to play all 5 notes. This is just going to be automatic to you guys. Even if you're experienced, you got to get this shape down so that no matter what's happening, I can get to this shape, right? Sounds horrible when you play it together, but notice that I can pick my hand up, put it right back down. And I want you guys to practice this stuff. When I go to F, see how I can play all the notes? Because I'm thinking about this as a shape. And this is important because, as you'll see in just a minute, we do the C blues, but we also do, remember that you can go down 3 half steps from whatever blues key you're in, and now you're in the A minor, the relative minor of the scale of the C major scale is A minor, and you can use the A blues scale, right, in your C blues improvisation. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is just get the fingers going here, right, very slowly. You don't have to swing it or anything. I'm going to make sure you can do that. So this is for absolute beginners. We talk about the shapes. Get your hand in the right position. Okay, then the next thing is adding that bass line. And I like the idea for a beginning blues class of actually teaching quarter notes in the left hand. In my other courses, you guys know we do 1/8 notes, right? But I still think we need to take a step back and do quarter notes, because that, whether you're a beginner or a pro, that's a great sound, right? Just quarter notes. So then you're going to put the right hand together with the left hand. Now, if you guys are my more experienced people, you're going to go to D flat. Get that shape down. And I don't want you just to learn the shape, but I want you to think about the scale, right? So C major, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In our right hand for D flat, I want you to think D flat, E flat, F, G flat, A flat, B flat, C, D. And the fingering is 1, 2, 3, sorry, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. I want you to be able to play the major scale and also know the notes D flat, E flat, F, G flat, A flat, B flat, C, D flat, D flat, C, B flat, A flat, G flat, F, E flat, D flat. Okay, and then I want you to know your numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So then when we try to build the blues scale, we know that we're doing 1, flat 3, 4, sharp 4, 5. That's the first pattern. We'll talk about the whole blues scale in just a minute. But this first section is just talking about the 5-note patterns, which I think is going to be very helpful to you guys. Let me check into the chat. Awesome. Yeah, as you guys come into the chat, say hello, and also make sure that you like the video. All right, here we go. Let me go back to the chart. That's not the chart. Okay, now I'm going to go, so that was the first example. It's just showing you, hey, here's the 5-finger pattern we're going to use. The next one is saying, okay, we have a bass line now, very beginning bass line. So I'm going to teach not only the bass line, but how you actually play it, how you play it slow, the correct fingering. And of course, I did write the fingerings for you guys for these examples. All right, so the next one is, the third one is this. You have 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and. So you notice that I'm in a 5-finger pattern, right? Boom, da, boom, da, 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 boom, da. So I already have the shape. This is going to be so much fun for you guys as you're learning this stuff. We have this, which is our automatic pilot, right? Alright, now, as I'm looking at that third example, I do boom, da, boom, da, 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 boom, da. What's happening there? 1, flat 3, 1, sharp 4, 5. and I go tritone, right? Sharp fourth, da, ba, da, ba, da, ba, da, ba, da, ba, da, boom, da. Maybe I need to play it straight because I'm having trouble with the coordination. I would go 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. So the first important part is that minor third, boom, da, tritone. So let's say I'm more experienced and I'm going to go to F, which is the 4 chord of a C blues, and I'm going to go boom, da, boom, da, 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 boom, da. So just like I did in C, I need to know 1, flat 3, sharp 4, 5. 1 flat 3 of a F scale, because I know my F scale, right? So F has 1 flat, F, G, A, B flat. And the fingering for F is 4, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So when I say 1, flat 3, 4, sharp 4, 5. And then I go tritone, da, 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 tritone, 4, root, minor third. Da, 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 da. Now the 5 chord of a C blues, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is G. So let's say I'm going to do it on G. There's my root 5th to root 6th. I'm going to go root, minor third, root, and then I have to go tritone. And then I go tritone, 4. So one, I would like to be able to kind of figure it out by ear, but I also want to practice making sure I understand the theory behind things. It'll help you in playing by ear if you understand the theory. And this is not complicated theory, right? This is simply learning the major scale, learning these blues notes that you flat the third, 4th, sharp 4, 5. Let me check my phone real quick. I'm getting some messages. One second. Okay. Let me check the chat real quick. Okay, so we have, let's say I'm just practicing that for a second. Just root 5th to root 6, right? And I'm going to go. Now here's the lick I just did. Now remember I said yesterday that it's great to be able to resolve. When I say resolve, I mean you end on the note of the chord, for instance C, but it takes sort of the tension away, and we want to keep some tension going at times. When we play our blues improvisations, we don't always want to just resolve home, right? We want to practice leaving a little tension. So even in this lick we do boom da bo da 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 boom down. There's that sharp 9 or your flat third, and Dan was emailing me about that, about liking the sound of the 3-6-9 voicing, which Dan, I meant to tell you, I love that, and I also like when you learn that in all keys, right? Because what you'll find, and this is just a side note for Dan, what you'll find is that as you get used to playing this in all keys, you can use those as passing notes, right? So, and what you want to do is figure out which notes sound good, but we'll come back to that in a later time. This is beginning blues. All right, so the second or the fourth lick is this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, right? This is something that we've already gone over, is the idea of 1 flat 3 4 sharp 4 minor third 4 1 minor third bo da 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 bo da bo da 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 bo da da. Let's just say I did 3 and 4. Boom da bo da da. Now, just that right there, for an absolute beginner, this is something that you're going to be able to do. It will take a little time for you to get your hand in this shape, but you'll start to, you're going to play this idea of just up and down, what we call automatic pilot when you do that. And then you have these ideas where you play them straight. Boom, da, dum, da, dum, da, 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 da. And what I just did there was 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3. And we have to learn how to count. So in our left hand, we're thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Those are called quarter notes, right? 1 beat each. When you do eighth notes, it's 1 and 2 and 3. So twice as many notes. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So when I say 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So I'm doing what's called resting on the first note, right? I'm not playing it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And as you learn these rhythms and how long you play the notes, there's a lot that you're just soaking up by listening and kind of doing exactly what I do. And then you'll start to understand more about theory and rhythm and things like that. So it's okay to be patient with some of that. But I like the idea of how simple it is. We've only done this so far. Automatic pilot, go up and down the scale, and we still have our hand in this position, and we did 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And the fingering is actually written out. I already wrote that out for you guys. And the second was boom da boom da 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 boom da. 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and. Let's do that. Let's practice that for just a minute, and then we'll add the next one. Okay, here we go. Da da boom da. Boo da 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 da. Boom da da da. Da 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 da. Boo da 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 boom da. Boo da. Now it's the 5 chord. Sorry. Boo da 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 boom da. All right, now the only other thing that we'll talk about now is actually let me just keep going down the list. All right, so the next one is the idea that I said, okay, we're at C, and we can go down, if C is our key, right, we go down 3 half steps. 1 note, 2, 3, and now we play this A blues scale shape. It's the same rhythm that we just did. So we have this. Let me do it in C. Actually, I'm sorry. I'm going to stay on C. Just want you to hear the difference. So far, and I'll just stay on the C chord for now, I'm either going to do the first 5 notes of the blues scale. I'll do that twice. Okay, now I'll do the first idea. The third idea. Boom, da, bo, da, 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 bo, da. Fourth idea. Bo, da, 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 or 1. The next idea. Okay, the next one we're going to add is this. F sharp to C sharp. what's so important about that? Now, I actually broke the rule of the 5-finger pattern for right now just because it came to mind of an easy but very cool sounding thing to do. So the tritones are really important lick or idea for the blues, and a tritone is simply 4 notes away and you sharp it. It's called the tritone. This interval, right, this space of notes, C to F sharp, and I'm going to use I'm going to start with 2, 5, 2, 1. Da 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 bo da bom, da 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 bom da bom, da 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 da. Now let's say you're more experienced. You're gonna go get the tritone, which is the G, right? Da 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 bo da bom, da 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 bo da da, bo da 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 bo da, or this. Bo da 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 bo da, da da bo da, right? Boom da bo da 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 bo da. Now, for my guys that and ladies that are more experienced, I know that you know the benefit of what we just did right there in 10 minutes, right? You put that in C, C sharp, and D, or you pick 2 keys a week, and you're going to be flying with the stuff, right? And you'll be able to play in all keys even faster by simplifying everything. And then that's where your confidence comes and your creativity will start coming. Let's just go to D with the automatic pilot. Everything's fitting up in the hand, right? What about the tritone? Let's keep going. So then I'll go back to C. That was just for fun for our more experienced folks. All right, here we go. So this is what I have. Which one do you guys like better? I want to get everyone who's on the chat or watch the replay. So this is we'll call it the 6th one. I don't even know which one it is. But you have the C, E flat, F. Do you like E flat? Or do you like boom da? Let's see, bo da da boom. Back to the C, bo da da bo da da bo da bo da 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 bo da 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 bo da. So bo da 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 bo da. Or I think I know what I like. Bo da 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 bo da. Bo da da bo da da bo da. This will be our first vote. It's such a subtle difference, but curious to know what you guys think on that. I keep hitting the wrong thing over and over and over. Second one? Yeah, me too. But we'll see what everyone else thinks. Okay, so let me go back here and we'll change that unless Dan or somebody else or Patty or Conrad or anyone wants to change it. Sorry. I actually kind of like both. Alright, let me keep going. So the next one is. Oh, no, the second one is. Oh, that's it, sorry. I actually think I like the C on the second one too. Again. Alright, we're voting on 6 and 7. But let's keep going. Okay, now we have this. Yeah, so da-da-da-bo-da-dum. The cool thing about this is you have these 5 notes right here, and there's so many combinations you can do, and what you're going to love is not only doing some of these that I have come up with, but you're going to come up with your own, and I always like when you guys share that kind of stuff with me. So here we go. Da-da-da-bo-da-dum. I like that. And then this is very simple on number 8 or whatever this is. Ba-da-da-bum, ba-da-da-bum, ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-dum, da-da-da-dum, da-ba-da-da-da-dum. Now, as you come up with a very simple, this idea right here, da-da-da-dum, in the spaces, you might want to do your own thing, like I just did, da-da-da-bum, ba-bum, and maybe rest, da-da-da-bum, da-dum, dum, da-da-da-dum, da-da-da-da-bum, ba. So I'm adding my own notes wherever I want to kind of fill that out. So da-da-da-bum. All right, look at the next one. Da-da-da-bo-da-dum. Very subtle, but different, right? Da-da-da-bo-da-dum, 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 ba-da-da-bum. That time I did this one, da-da-da-ba-da-dum, and then I did da-da-da-ba-da-dum, da-da-da-dum. Okay, that's what I had there. Da-da-da-ba-da-dum, da-da-da, da-da-da-dum, da-da-da, da-da-da-ba-da-dum, 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 da-da-da-dum. All right, let me look at the next one. Ba-da-da-ba-da-dum, da-da-da-dum. Yeah. Da-da-da-ba-da-da-da-da-da-dum. So it's kind of combining a couple of them together. Da-da-da-ba-da-da, ba-da-da-bum, ba-da-da-ba-da-dum, ba-da-da-bum, ba-da-da-ba-da-dum, ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-ba-da-dum, da-da-da-ba-da-da-ba-da-da-da-da-da. All right, let me keep going. like that. All right, let me keep going. This one right here. Now when I play this right here, this comes out. It's the same 4 notes or 5 notes minus the tritone at first. Now that is what's called the minor pentatonic scale, when you do 1 flat 3 of the scale, 4 sharp 4 and flat 7, a 5-note scale, 1 2 3 4 5. So this sound is really nice. And all I did on this one is I went da, 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 da. Or I could do that, but so we could go. This is pentatonic, so it's only missing 1 note, the tritone. That time I went all the way down to the B flat, which is the flat 7. Now let me keep going. What about this one? So that time I cheated. I went down out of the 5-note pattern, and I went down to B flat, and then so I did my thumb and then my second finger. Da, 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 dum, dum. Da, 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 dum. All right, let me keep going and see what else I did. Okay, so the last one we did for this morning was this. Change that up a little bit. Let's see. Maybe, what do you like? The tritone at the end? Do you like? Or do you like? So 1 or 2. All right, I'm back. Hey Patty, how's it going? It's about time. I'm just kidding. You like the tritone? Okay, so you like Okay, so here's what we're going to do now. So now that we've done all those extra licks, in which Patty, you'll have to go back and watch the cool chart that I created this morning, is the idea of, if we're teaching absolute beginners how to play the blues, or we're teaching experienced or intermediate players to transpose in all keys, we're going to start doing those simple phrases like this. Boom, da, boom, da, 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 boom, da. It fits right under the hand. Boom, da, ba, da. Sorry. Boom, da, 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 boom, da. Or D. Da, the trick is start to think of where do the hands line up. Well, obviously you have the same 5 fingers. Boom, da, boom, 4, 5. And then you get to the tritone on the second part of the lick. Ba da boom da, ba da boom da. First part of the lick. Boom da, boom da, da. Maybe rest for a minute. Boom da, boom da, da. Remember, you guys can play this stuff slow and straight. Boom da, boom da, da. Boom da, boom da, da. And the second part of the lick. Ba da, boom da, ba da, boom. All right, couple of housekeeping things is that we welcome, if you guys saw the email this morning, we welcome Peter to the group. He signed up today, which we're really thankful for Peter. I think we're at 28 now. I'm hoping that we'll get several more, and I gave an opportunity to anyone who has the bundle to get the course, the training session free. And, 28 is pretty good, but it's not great considering all the different bundles I've sold. So what I think I'm going to do now, and I've already, I had the bundle for ridiculously low prices, and I went ahead and made it, I don't even know. Somebody go to the website and tell me what the bundle is now, if you could do that for me and check. But I raised it up a little bit just to be fair for what I had promised, as I had Labor Day very low prices. And it's going to be over like 10 hours of material. So anyway, I feel like it's a really good thing for people to get the bundle. So help me encourage people to get the bundle if you would, guys. Okay. All right, so here's what we're going to do now is we're going to keep practicing these simple things, but let's talk about the blues scale in its entirety, because I thought that was a lot of fun yesterday and had some really good feedback on playing the entire blues scale, making sure that we're spending time connecting our scales and our blues scales and all these things, okay? So with this idea of this beginning course, and people learn, I can play this over the blues. I can play 5-note patterns that sound really good. And when you get a pattern, whatever pattern you're working on, whether it's the Dwight Lick, da 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 da, try to sing it and wear it out, right? And I know that I'm going root, tritone, 4. So then when I go to D flat, right? Root, tritone, da 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 da. Root, tritone, 4, minor third, flat 7, 1, boo da. And when I go to D, boom da, da 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 da, flat 7, 1, boom da. Maybe I need to straighten it out. Boom, da. What if I'm in E flat? Da, 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 da. Let's do one more. Let's do E. Okay, so we're playing, I get this here. What's the first thing? The tritone, right? Boom, ba, da, da, da. Somebody pick one other key, any key, and we're going to work through the Dwight Lick real quick. And while I'm waiting on that, I want you guys to know the reason I'm encouraging everyone to get the Blues Bundle to be a part of this course is because we're not just doing Blues Volume 1, right? We're doing all of the volumes together. We're incorporating licks. Like the Dwight Lick is from Blues Volume 4 that hasn't even been released yet. And lots of these different patterns and different things are coming from all kinds of things. All right, Vicky wants key of B. Okay, now to play the Dwight Lick, first thing I'm going to do is make sure I have my 5-finger pattern, right? So remember that on B, you get up into the keys a little bit, right? so I don't have to move a lot. All right, so the Dwight Lick, first I have to know the scale of B so that I can do the bass line, root 5th to root 6th. And then what I'm going to do is make sure I have my blues scale. And when I go to the tritone, we know it's the one right below the top note. So there's the first part. And then that's part of the blues scale, right? Every note except for the last one is from the blues scale, but you have to go root tritone. Now I have to go down to the flat 7. You get the idea. All right, Patty, you pick one. We could do your F sharp if you want, Patty. So guys, I hope that you're seeing these patterns. Like if I know my first 5 notes of the F blues scale, for instance, I just have to go root to the tritone, which I want you guys to get that interval anyway. So Patty, what I'm going to do is I'm actually creating, you have to go back and watch the video, but I'm actually going to create a beginner's course. And I really think that this will be very helpful. I think people can really dig in. So I just have to get some structure on how I'm going to do it. But I would love to get your guys' feedback. And I'll actually send an email. I think I mentioned this, but I'll send the chart out this afternoon so you guys can practice and let me know what you think. We did a vote on a couple of the licks, and I said, which one did you like better? So you guys can let me know on that. Okay, so Patty, give me one scale, and we'll do the Dwight Lick, and then we'll talk about connecting our blues scales. This will be fun. All right, I was just waiting on Patty to give me one more key. Listen to this pedal. It's so funny. This program I'm using it's a sampled piano, right? But let me see if you can hear the pedal noise. It goes, I know I can turn that down. That's hilarious, though. Okay, Vic, you said key of E. Didn't we just do key of E? Well, let's do it anyway. So E blues scale, right? And we're gonna go to do the Dwight. Well, how do you find where the tritone is? Just go a half step down, and then you go a whole step down till you get your flat 7, right? Key of E. Let's do our bass line from yesterday. Remember that we do 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. And when you take any triad and that's your key note, right? You have your bass line of 1, 3, 5 of whatever major scale, right? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3. So watch this. 2 and 3 and let's do B. Let's do one more. Let's do key of A flat. We haven't been spending a lot of time in A flat. So A flat blues scale, first 5 notes of the blues scale, and that's the whole scale, but first 5 notes, right? To get to the tritone, you go down a half step from the top of your 5-note pattern. You have and then I went down a whole step from the root. Let me go an octave lower because it sounds better. Again. Let's do G. Automatic pilot. How about the lick from today? Let's do it on F. We taught that transposition earlier in the video. So 1 root, minor third, root, da 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 bo da. We did that same thing. G. And then we started over. Okay, so about 10 more minutes left. I've been doing an hour live each time we go, so I hope that this is helpful. Alright, I did get a message from Dan, said he was going to watch it tonight, so hope to hear from the rest of you guys. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I did go over the fingerings to all of the blues scales, right? It's super important to do that, because after you work on the 5-note pattern, I still want you to be able to play your blues scale fluidly. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, or 1, 3, 4, whatever you think is the best fingering. But then you start over again and do the same thing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4. So let me do it really slowly of connecting my ideas or my scale. So I'm not planning that out before I start. I've played my blues scale enough and I know the sound to where I can let my imagination go and my ear take me wherever I want it to go based on the C blues scale. So let me give you that example again really slowly. So what I'm doing there is, so I'm doing the blues scale, but then I started leaving out the tritone, which is pentatonic scale when you do that, which is for another video and definitely not the beginning course. Okay, but let me even break it down just a little bit more, just with 1 octave, to show you how we're going to get the flow going of getting your blues scale all the way up and down. But listen how slowly I practice. Let's do it on the quarter notes. let's say that I was doing automatic pilot and I did this lick from today. Da da boom da. It's blue scale. You may need to go slower, listen. Maybe I need to do just one hand only. 2, 3, 4. Boom, da, boom, da, 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 boom, da. Blue scale coming down. Da, 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 ba, da, da, boom, da, 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 boom, da, 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 boom, da, 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 boom, da, da. Never mind. I'm doing jazz. We're not doing jazz. Okay. Makes sense? Any questions on anything? For my advanced people, here's what we're going to do. Sounds weird, my advanced people. For those of you with a little more experience, here's what we're going to do. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. You may need to make sure you can play this in D flat with the same well, the fingering is actually different. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and you only use 4 when you get to the top note. If I was doing 2 octaves, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And on the way back down, it's just 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. Da 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 Or how about this? Or boom da boom da 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 boom da boom da 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 All right, any questions on anything? Any questions? Let's see. It's 10:27. We have 3 more minutes. I want to answer some questions. I've been talking too much. is a great background for jazz, correct? I think they work well together. Yes, absolutely. Also think that everything from triads and triads are so important, right? So like if I'm in the key of E flat, let's just say, and I do E flat, this may be, Dan might appreciate this. So there's E flat, F minor, that's a nice sound right there, dum, G minor, just a triad, bum, 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 diminished, da, da. We do that again. Dum, 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 So even that would be a perfect example right there, what I just did. So I was just noodling around like in the key of E flat, and then I went to like C minor, and then I went to F7, and instead of like playing a jazzy line, I did more of a bluesy line, and then I can go right back to my chords. Makes sense? I did that for Dan. I think Dan emailed me last night, was talking about, because I think he was doing one of the deep dive blues licks in all keys, and there was something about the fingering as it related to his hand, that we are all wired different, and all of our hands are different. But I have had students before where they can't literally fit their middle finger, let's say, up into the black keys. And I always say that figure out a fingering that works for you, and whatever feels comfortable works. I have students that play this example right here, blues example 1, and they do this. They go 1, 3, 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 5. And that feels good to their hand. Now, if that works for you, then go for it. I have people that instead of 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 5, they do 1, 2, 4, 2, 4, 3, 5. If it works for you and you flow with it, I say that to my private students. They'll say, "Can I do that?" I'm like, if it sounds good and it feels good and you're not hurting your hand, then go for it, right? All right, any other questions? I want somebody to tell me the name of the tune that I was playing a few minutes ago too. Let's see, our trivia people. I should do a name that tune segment when we have a bunch of people on. I don't even know if that will happen, of us having a bunch of people on, not in the morning anyway. Sharp 9, ninths and sharp 11 are not used in blues. We use them all the time, right? If I do this 9 flat 7, right? Or if I do this, that's sharp 11. for Dan, if you're watching this late at night, I love the idea that you're doing the deep dive on some of these lessons, but make sure you practice getting some of those licks into your blues, right? Because you obviously know what you're doing. So, for instance, if he's doing boom da ba da 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 boom da, or you can do it over this bass line. Same thing on that. Same thing on G. All right, any questions? 1 minute. I am going to do a video soon for my jazz people. I want to talk about connecting scales and things for longer lines, stuff like that. So we'll do that. All right, once again, let me give you guys a couple of updates and then we'll call it a day. Not that anyone is, other than Vicky, is watching to the end of this. I'll be curious to know if Dan listens to the whole thing. But we want to welcome Peter for joining the group today. I would love to get to like 40 before the 20th. I don't know if that's going to be possible. But hey, what was the price that that it's been increased to, Vicky, on the website? Because most people in this group got it for like really cheap, like 42 or whatever, all 3 volumes. And then of course that's the free training that's coming up. That's going to be tons of material, and you guys know that you guys are getting material every day to keep working on. So I love this group that we're in, but I'm just curious for anyone. I'm going to try to encourage our list that they can still be a part of the course, but the bundle is a little bit more now. Tell me what the bundle price is now. I think I'll do an email to our friends. It still shows $42.99. You're on the website? Check again, because I thought it was raised a little bit. Just goofing off. Okay. Yeah. Okay. $54.99. Okay. That makes sense. All right. I am going to send out an email encouraging somebody else to sign up for this course. And the last thing I'll say, since I've been rambling, is I like the idea of us using something like WhatsApp, or we could use Discord. I've got to check with everybody in the group, but I want some, or technically Google Hangout or something, but I want to get everybody getting to know each other, because when we're in a group, we can motivate each other and see what's working, talk, and figure things out together. Okay, sounds good. All right, see you in the next video. Good to see you, Vicky. Good to see you, Patty. And looking forward to all my replay viewers. Make sure you like this video. Tell me what you liked about it, what you hated about it is okay too. We're a family. And I'll see you guys in the next video.